It finally happened. I was in the Oilers locker room.
Bruh.
I've been grinding on this channel for over the past 4 years now, and never in my wildest dreams did I think that it would lead me right into the Oilers locker room. But it did. And boy, do I have some stories to tell you. I'm going to give you my thoughts on what it was like being in a media scrum with the best player in the world, Connor McDavid, and kind of just share my thoughts on the night as a whole. So yeah, guys, pretty excited. It was awesome. It was a really cool, fun, just one of, man, it was a bucket list moment in my life. It really was. So I'm going to give my thoughts because there are some things I want to get off my chest and share because I don't think anyone really talks about this. So if you're interested, please stay to the end of the video. Got a kind of quite a few cool stories. But yeah, I haven't said this in a while, guys. We're still on the road to 6K subs. If you could help me reach that, it's been a grind. I really do think that we're on the cusp of something special here. So please, if you can help me reach 6K and then 7K, that would be so awesome. Let's go. And stay to the end of the video because I do have a huge announcement to say. And also at the end of the video, I now got a sponsored segment brought to you by timetrackers.ca. where I highlight the most liked comment in my previous video. Okay, so stay to the end. We've got a lot to get to, but yeah, guys, I was in the Oilers locker room, and honestly, a lot of it is because of you guys. Like really, like getting the subs that I do have and the views that I have gotten. If I wouldn't have seen some progress with this channel, I would have stopped a long time ago. But thank you to everyone who continues to click and like and comment on these videos. I really do appreciate it. It makes it so much more fun making content for you guys. But with that being said, let's get back into this video. Let's go. Let's get right into the night. So at first you walk in and it's kind of like if you've been to Rogers Place, people go up the main escalators, but if you look to the left, there's the Oilers Hall of Fame room. And yeah, I went right in. It was pretty cool. I bumped into Jason Strudwick as I was walking on in, and I also bumped into Colton Parayko. The Edmonton Oilers were facing the Blues that night. No Dylan Holloway, Philip Broberg was playing, so that was kind of fun. But yeah, it was it was very interesting starting the night off with Colton Parayko because I walk in and I'm in my suit, I'm looking pretty good, and I'm kind of just walking like a penguin. I'm a little nervous. And I see Colton Parayko. I make eye contact with him, and he looks at me, and he was just he kind of up and he looks down and looks at me. I'm like, oh, okay, this is kind of awkward. But then he starts walking, straight, and I'm right behind him, and so I'm kind of just, he's a tall guy, and I'm just kind of walking, and then it was the weirdest thing. He turns around and he's and he kind of gives me the he looks around and he's he gives me the double take, and I'm like, what the heck is going on here? And I'm just it was very awkward. So, yeah, I don't know what that was all about, but that was my first interaction with NHLer Colton Parayko, the good old double take. So then you go to the elevator, and you go straight up. I tell you what, this elevator is the fastest elevator in the world. It was insane. It was pretty cool, though. If you're an Oilers fan, I was able to sit with Jim Matheson. He was a Hall of Fame media member, which was pretty cool. Had some cool stories, had some good questions to ask him.
Why are you so pissy, Leon? Why are you so pissy?
I'm not. I'm just answering your...
Yeah, you are. Whenever I ask you a question.
By the end of the night, he was grabbing my shoulder. He was like, oh, Trev, you're a good kid. So that was really cool. I was in the Oilers press box last year, so I was able to meet Ryan Rishaug. I met Bob Stauffer. I met, quite a bit of people last year, but I met a lot more this year. I had a good conversation with Cam Moon, which was really cool. Ryan Rishaug as well. I like Ryan Rishaug. He's pretty cool. He came up to me last year when I was eating the pizza, and he was like, you can't eat pizza on your first day. And I was like, oh, sorry. Hey, Ryan, how's it going? And then he shook my hand. And this year he goes to shake my hand. Both my hands were in pizza. Or I was eating pizza. And I was like, oh, I gave him a fist bump. And he asked me how things were doing. Caught up with Schauger. So that was really cool. It's always a good conversation there. Yeah, and all around just got a lot of sightseeing in the press box. And then come third period, I was getting a little nervous, guys. I'm not going to lie. I waited my whole life. If you don't know, I graduated in broadcasting. I moved to Edmonton with, the hopes and dreams to hopefully one day do what I'm doing now. So I'm pretty thankful and I'm pretty grateful. And it's a good game to go to. The Oilers ended up winning. I think it was 4-3 they won, but it was a lot of fun. Connor McDavid, was he in? Was he out? No, he was in, and that was kind of interesting because it gets. I don't know. It's so interesting because here's another story I'll say. You're observing all these broadcasters on TV, and you're like, oh, they're extremely professional. And I'll say they are professional, but I mean, they're just your average like guys. Like there's a little bit like I was blown away by when we're up there. There's quite a bit of cussing going on. I'm like, oh, this is interesting. But yeah, it's there's no cameras on, right? So they can just be just like your average bros, and that's how they were talking shop. Like they honestly, it was kind of interesting, but. Thought the same conversations that were being had in the press box are the same conversations that are being had in row 1, row 50. The fans, they're all talking about the same thing. So I thought that was kind of interesting. But so 5 minutes left, we go down, final whistle, and here's where it gets interesting because yeah, you get sent down in the elevator, and there's this lounge room right before the Oilers dressing room. All the media members go in there. They got all these TVs, and you've got DVD, you've got Mark Spector, you've got Jim Matheson, you've got Ryan Rishaug, you got Jason Gregory, Reed Wilkins, all the hockey, the big hockey minds, I guess, media people just in this room, and they're starting to bring out their books, and they're starting to write down some questions, write down some notes. I'm like, oh, this is getting pretty intense, and the Oilers win, sure enough. And then it's go time. You have no time. They're like, okay, let's go. So you walk down the hall, which I thought was interesting. And then again, I can't get over how quick they work. Like, I'm not even joking. The players get off. We were probably waiting to get into the room for 3 minutes. I'm not even joking. It's 5 minutes. And here's where, this is so, Trev, what was it like? How was you've waited your whole life to go into the Oilers locker room. What was it like? And I'm going to be honest, meh. If you made it this far, meh. Yeah, it's kind of like one of those things, like you dream your whole life for something, and you can't wait, and you want it to be everything you've dreamed of, and then you go in there, and it's like, oh, this is nothing at all of what I was expecting. I was expecting a locker room full of Oilers, lots of laughs, lots of just they just won, let's go. No, go into the room. I don't know how, it blows my mind how fast the players get off their equipment. There was no one in the locker room. We go in, and it's empty, completely empty. It's still got that same stench as every hockey room known to mankind. It's stunk in there. But the one thing I will say, looking up and being in the room, I was like, okay, this is pretty badass. Like, this is really, really, really cool. But yeah, I mean, I remember Reed, he said, okay, Trev, we move quick. Stay close to me. If you get lost, just follow the scrum. You're going to be fine. And I was like, oh, okay, doors open. Boom. Like, everyone just books it. And so that was kind of interesting as well. But yeah, we go in there, and I was like, all smiles. And then I was just like, oh, like, I don't know. It was kind of underwhelming. If I'm being completely honest, it was a little underwhelming. It was still cool to be a part of. It was still, a check in the bucket list moments. I can tell my kids I was in the Oilers locker room one day, but it's not at all what it used to be in the 80s or 90s. It's changed mightily, and that was very evident when I went in there because the players, I mean, and this is why it kind of changed my mind. Like, the players, they don't really like the media members, and I'm part of the media, and I grew up, like, I want to have a relationship with the players like Cabby, how's it going, Connor and Darnell, when he did his last video with the Oilers, the guys like him, they really, really like him, or Kobe Armstrong, or, I don't know, and it's all hypothetical, but it felt like I was intruding their space, and I don't know, it was very interesting. I have mixed feelings on the whole thing because I was like, this is something I've always wanted to do, but I don't want to be, like I'm Connor. Like for instance, I met Mark Spector, very awesome guy. He shook my hand. He took the time out of his day to meet me, but I mean, No disrespect, Mark, that you do go against the Oilers quite a bit, and the players have been pretty vocal towards you, and I think you know that and whatnot. And I don't know if I want to be that guy. I don't know if I want to be, a very negative media member. So all these thoughts are going through my head. But then it's that time. Okay, Connor, you're good to go. And I crap you not, Connor McDavid comes out after winning a game, and he just looks like he does not look happy. He looks miserable. I'm not even joking. You can tell this is his least favorite part of the job, is speaking with the members. As he comes out, he kind of does this, and he just doesn't look happy. And I thought that was interesting. But, and I will say, quiet speaker. I was like literally 2 feet away from him. I could barely hear him. He was so quiet. So he answered his questions. It was all that. Okay, thank you, Connor. And then he walks off, wasn't too happy. And I was like, wow, that's very interesting. I wasn't expecting that. But then all of a sudden, next thing you know, Connor Brown comes in there, and he scored 2 goals that night, and he's just, he's just a bro. Like, Connor Brown was like, he was pretty cool. I'm not going to lie. They're like, oh, whoa, what was it like scoring, being on McDavid's line tonight? Scored 2 goals. Like, he was a bro. Like, he was really, really cool. He was having fun with it. Did you think McDavid was going to be good tonight? Well, he's the best player in the world. Like, he was kind of, like, he was having fun with it. Lots of smiles. Cool dude. Nothing but good things to say about both players. It's just I was not expecting McDavid to be so, just very, I don't know. It was just weird. But then Connor Brown, cool dude, cool bro. It was awesome. And then going into Oilers Hall of Fame room, just to wrap up the video, guys. That was surreal, and that's when I kind of met a lot of the media members, and it was cool. It really was, because I looked over to the left, and if you're not new to Edmonton, if you've never been to a game, fans can observe the interviews between the media members and Chris Knobloch. And I always remember being the little kid with my arms, like, I wasn't that little, but like I'd still look and I'd be like, wow, it'd be so cool. Like, what a treat it would be to be in there. And then I look to the left and I see some young kids, and I'm like, wow, they're probably thinking the same thing. And that's what I mentioned. I got a little teary-eyed. That's when I got a little teary-eyed. I was like, wow, like, good job, Trev. Like, you're actually doing really good. And so it was pretty cool. And then getting to hear Chris Knobloch, he was very soft-spoken. Very interesting guy. It was cool, though. He was cool. He seemed nice. But yeah, that was it. And I also thought it was interesting. They passed a mic around when they're in the Oilers locker, I guess the Hall of Fame room. I thought everyone would have their own mic, but literally they're just like, oh, I'll take the mic after you. Yep, okay. And then they grab the mic, and then they're like, anyone else want it? Okay, yeah, here you go. So they passed the mic around. I thought that was interesting. I don't know when that started or if it's always been like that, but yeah, so, I mean, that was my experience. That was my night in the Oilers locker room, and I'm sure there was a lot of other things. Oh, I ran into Connor and Leon's fiance and wife. I tell you, that was the most nervous part of my entire night. I made eye contact with them, and then I immediately looked down, and I was just stiff as a brick. I walk like this. Oh, that was intimidating. But anyway, that's all I got, guys. But if you made it this far, like I said, drop a comment down below, leave a like. I do interact with every single comment in the comment section down below, so please leave a like, drop a comment. It was pretty cool. It really, really was. So if you're looking to, join media, I would recommend it. It was still pretty cool, but it's kind of like the saying, never meet your heroes, or whatever that saying is. It was kind of like that. Like, it was still really, really cool, but wasn't at all what I was expecting. That's why, don't make expectations, because you don't know if they'll be met or not. But, I'm still so thankful to be, able to say that, yeah, I was quite, in fact, like, I was in the Oilers locker room. So that was really, really cool. But it is that time of the video, brought to you by www.timetrackers.ca. It's an Alberta-based company with clocks all over Canada. At Time Trackers, they work around the clock for you. Whether you want a big clock, a medium-sized clock, or this clock right here, you name it, they got it. Again, that's www.timetrackers.ca. But like I said, it's that time of the video. And if you don't know, like I said, I've got a new sponsored segment. In my last video, the most liked comment was by @cynicalmisanthrope. Hate him. Trade him now before he does any further damage. Laziest defenseman in the league. And this was regards to my video on Evan Bouchard. And I labeled it the most controversial player in the NHL, ... Evan Bouchard. So that wraps up this video. If you stayed this long, I guess I'll quickly just say, I know I'm running out of time. My film ran out here, but yeah, I am moving. I'm getting kicked out of my freaking place. I'm not getting kicked out. They're just selling the property. So that's why I haven't really been uploading the last little bit. Just been busy packing, trying to find a new place to live. But I will say I did find a new place to live, thank God. Because, that was getting frustrating. So, I'm sorry, guys, that I haven't been able to record nearly as much, but that's why. Thank you for all the continued support. Let's go. If you're new to Above Average, leave a like, drop a comment down below. Most importantly, subscribe, baby. Don't be average when you can be above average. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.